Hello and welcome to today's fitness class. We're going to be working on abs and the core stabilizing muscles today. Now, it's going to be mostly a full body weight exercise. We do have the dip station with us, but if you don't use or don't have the dip station, I'm going to show you how to do the exercises without it. We also do have a kettlebell because we're going to be using that for Russian twists. But as always, the first thing we're going to do is do a warm-up. Obviously, we need to make sure that we're all nice and loose and warm. So the first thing we're going to do is just rotate the arms forward like so. And then change direction so they're coming backwards, keeping yourself nice and loose, and then across the body. The reason why we're focusing on the shoulders at the minute is because obviously when we use the dip station, we're going to be using those to brace ourselves. Okay, grabbing the waist now, what we're going to do is just rotate it round and change direction. Hands up to the sides like this, so they're in this position here, 90-degree angle. I'll do it from this side. What we're going to do is just rotate around, keeping the feet firmly on the ground here so the heels aren't coming up. We're just going to rotate it around. What I always say is do not push past pain. So if you feel uncomfortable, that's fine. Just don't go through it because you're going to injure yourself. Okay, on the next rotation, what I want you to do is lift one side of your foot up like this. Gives you a deeper stretch. Now change to the other side, and you want to look behind you as you go. Okay, all right, we're going to ramp this up now. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some leg raises. So right foot back, and all we're going to do is swing up to stomach level. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to change feet. Now, the reason why we're doing this on an ab day is that we're actually going to be engaging our hips when we're doing crunches and when we're using the dip station. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now what we're going to do is open and close the hips. So stand tall like this, open the hips around and come back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to go the other way, close them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Changing feet now, so we're focusing on this one. We're going to open those hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Closing them up, so going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Making sure I'm not kicking anything in. And 5. In the living room here. Okay, what we're going to do, we're just going to jog on the spot, keeping it nice and loose. Loosen up our hands. Just going to bring the heart rate up a little bit. And then we're going to just bounce, bounce, bounce. Just keep yourself loose. Okay, stop there. All right, what we're going to do, just going to bring this out a little bit. Let's get cracking with, put that on, with some full body stuff. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to lie on the mat like this. Let's bring it a bit closer. Shoulders all the way back, like that. We're going to turn a foot in, right? So you can see my foot that way. This elbow, the opposite elbow, is going to come towards the knee. I want the elbow to go beyond the knee. Okay, the reason why I want you to go beyond the knee is because at the very end of that movement, you're squeezing the muscle. Okay, that is where you're actually going to be working the muscle, not at just the start, but it's going to be at the very end, okay? So don't leave any gains on the table. You want to really push past it, okay? Squeeze into it. We're going to hold it for about 2 seconds, and then we're going to come back. I want to try and aim for about 8 on either side. Okay, here we go. So, 1. Oops, sorry. Here we go. 1. There we go. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. All right, changing sides. If you can hear any weird noises, it's because the dog is rolling around just by the camera. All right, here we go. You're right. Oh, sorry, Goose. What did I say? What did I say about you? Come on, mate. I've got to get out of the way. All right, other side now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember that pause. 5, 6, 7, and the last one here is 8. Push it past, and there we go. Okay, right. Woo! So that's the first set. Thank you, Goose, for leaving hair all over the place. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to crack on with some Russian twists. I'm going to use the kettlebell. If you don't have a kettlebell, then just you can use your body weight. What I'll do is I'll break up the workout first, the exercise first, to just demonstrate how we actually perform a good Russian twist. So let's just move that out of the way for a minute. What we want to do, get ourselves into a boat position. By a boat position, what I mean is you're leaning backwards, your feet are up like this, your arms are out straight like so. Okay, you can lower yourself if you want, make it a little bit harder. So this is the position. This is the ready position of the Russian twist. Next thing I want you to do is bring your hands together. Imagine you're holding the kettlebell, for example, and you're rotating to one side. And then you come to the center and you rotate back. Now, an important cue here is that the elbow and the forearm of this side, right, if I'm rotating this way, can you see that the forearm is straight and the elbow is pointing in that direction? It's pointing backwards. If I did it with the other arm, the elbow is pointing this way. Okay? The reason why that's a really important cue is to remember where the elbows are pointed, is because when you're actually pushing in that direction, you are squeezing. You're squeezing. And again, it's at the very last part of the motion that you're actually doing that tight squeeze. You don't really squeeze when you start the motion, it's at the end. Okay, so let's grab the kettlebell, get into our boat position, and let's get started. I want 8 on either side, 16 in total. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Got 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one is 6. There we go. Put that away. Whoa. Woo, woo, woo. Shake that off. Let's have a little bit of a quick break. So you see at the right at the end, there is that tight squeeze. So I want everyone just to have a little quick break before we get on to the next exercise. Ba, 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 ba. Okay. And if you're watching on TikTok, I'm going to put on a poll which will ask, what is your biggest fitness challenge? The answers are, or the possible answers are, staying consistent, choosing good habits, feeling unmotivated, and not having enough time for oneself. Okay, so I'm going to put that poll out. I'm interested to know what the audience has on that. Matt has said, get back to bed. Hi, Matt. I've been up since 6:30. Right. Not out of choice. Oh, that's a good question. Let me think on that. I'm struggling from depression. What should I do? Let me think on that. I will get back to you. I'll run it as a background process in my head whilst I do the next set. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we've done Russian twists. That's what we've done, and we've also done sort of side crunches. Okay. Next one that I want to do is a little bit harder. Okay. This is where we're going to put our legs up into the air. All right. And we're going to try and touch the toes on either side, alternating. All right. Now, you'll see as I do this, my feet will gradually come down. All right. It's important to try and keep them nice and straight, but it's so incredibly difficult. We're only going to go for 8, so 16 on either side. Let's get cracking. I'll do a quick demo first just to show you what I mean. So we're laying again on the back of the mat like this. Okay. Arms like this. Fine. Okay. Feet are now all the way up to the top. All right. So the challenge here is that we want to try and get our opposite hand to touch the foot. All right. But as you'll see throughout this, my legs will slowly come down, which actually is going to make it far difficult for me to touch. All right. Which is why we need to be quite mindful to keep these legs as high as possible. Okay, here we go. We've got 16 to go. There's 8 on each side. Opposite hand, opposite toe, or opposite foot. Okay, let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that hold. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, last one, 16. There we go. Put them away. Woo! That was tough. That was very tough. Okay, so we're now going to get rid of the mat. Now, what we're going to do is, if you do not have a dip bar, I will show you these exercises on the floor. I just need to get rid of the mat because it gets in the way. So I'll show you the exercises first on the dip station, and then if you don't have a dip station, nearly swore. Sorry. If you don't have a dip station, I'll show you how to do the equivalent exercises but on the floor. All right. So what we're going to do, knee raises. Okay, to begin with, we're just going to come up and down. The cue to remember with these knee raises, you imagine you're wearing a belt. Okay, you want to put your belt to the chin. All right, Goose, what are you doing? You're on the wander. You want to get your belt up to the chin. Okay, watch what he's doing. So this means that you need to curl your pelvis up, tilt your pelvis up as you go. All right. Otherwise, all you're doing is you're just using your hips to bring your knees up and down. Okay. That isn't what we're after here. That's got nothing to do with the crunch All right, the crunch is right at the end again, where it's belt to chin. Okay, so let's say, for example, we were just to hold it like this, right? And all I was going to do is just bring the knees up like that. All right, well, that's not going to do anything at all. Okay, that's not doing anything. That's just working on the hips. What we want to do is actually work on the abs and the core. So at that point where we're up here, we want belt to chin, okay? Belt to chin. Can you see that there's a little bit of a rotation going on with the pelvis? That is the crunch. Now, if you don't have a dip station, whoops, smash into the wall. If you don't have a dip station, what you can do is you can come down onto the ground, right, on the mat, lay down, come here, lay down, hands are by your bum, bring your feet in. Okay, this point here, this is the belt to chin part. This is the crunch. You see it's coming off the ground here. Push out. 1. Belt to chin. 2. Belt to chin. 3. Now, when you're pushing out as well, imagine that what you're doing is you're pushing a straw out and a straw in, out and in. Okay? Let me just deal with that. There's something coming up on my phone. There we go. Good. Okay, so last time we did blah, 8 of these. I want to do a bit of progressive overload. I want to get to 9. Okay, so I want to do 9 of these, but remember, belt to chin, all right, on both the mat and also the dip station. So up we go, belt to chin, doing 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, there we go. Whew. Yikes, that 9th one. That was hard. Grab a little drink, let's have a little break, and then we'll get on to the next exercise, where again you can either use the dip station or you could do it on the ground. Just have yourself. All right, I've got. I need to. Hello, you. You're very sociable today. So yeah, I need to make sure that my heart rate comes down properly. I've got a heart condition, so need to have some proper rest throughout each of these. Otherwise, you know, it gets a bit silly. So I was asked about struggling from depression. This was from Jara. So the question was, I'm struggling from depression, what should I do? So as someone who has struggled with depression myself, or many times, it's not a one size fits all type thing. But what I personally found helped is having someone to talk to. And for me, that was my wife. That was the support group that I've got around me. That was a therapy as well. I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean, everyone feels low at some points in their life. I've had several operations as well, which has meant that my physical level has dropped dramatically, which is what I'm trying to build up at the minute. find someone who is a good listener is all I'm going to say. But I am certainly not a therapist. I'm certainly not someone who is professional in any of that sense. So I would hate to give you any kind of advice on anything that is just not within my lane. Stay in my lane. But find a good listener. Take care of yourself. Do some self check-ins. I found journaling really helped as well. I also found, journaling. I'm gonna get a bit too personal if I keep talking, so we're gonna keep it there, all right? But I hope, Jara, things improve. All right, so less of the yapping. Let's get cracking. What we're going to do is we're going to do some more knee raises, but this time we're going to come up at an angle. All right, so we're going to come up. So we're going to start center line. We come up and go this way, or it's in one motion. So I'll just do a demo. So before we came up like this, right now we're going to come up like that. All right, like that. Now, for those of you, and remember it's still belt to chin, all right? But for those of you who don't have a dip station, you want to know how to do that, or you want a variant like that, we could do some toe touches. So I know that we did toe touches before where we were up like this and we were touching our toes like that, but what you could do is actually from this position here, hands, we've got, we could bring the hands across and touch our toes or touch our knees like this, or not knees, ankles like this, and just remember that there is that squeeze. You're still working on the obliques, you're still working on the same levels, muscle levels. But what we're going to do, we are going to do 9, okay? So I want 18, so not 2 9s 18. Or in total, we're going to go one way, then another way, one way and another way. Remember that squeeze, try and hold it for a second, maybe 2 as you go, same as if you're on the floor. All right, here we go. Okay, up we go. So going for 1. Other way now, 2, 3, still remember the belt to chin, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, last one, 18. Whew. Have a break. Shake all that off. Whew. Hello everyone. I'll put another poll out, so bear with me a minute. Ooh, catch my breath. Telling everyone my heart rate zone. Ooh. Right, so I'm going to do another poll on TikTok. What cardio do you prefer? Options are outdoor activities, team sports, solo training, fitness classes, or recreational sports like football, that kind of thing. So I will put them out there. Ooh. There we go. If you've answered and you're answering in the comments, please could you also tell me a little bit more specifically about what that is? So solo training could be all sorts of different things, but I'm very interested in what the audience does in terms of their exercise routines. This is falling off. All right, so let's get cracking again. Now we're going to use this again, but this time this is going to be a really difficult one, okay? It's all about the hold here. What we're going to do is a seated raise. So it's like a leg raise, all right? But we're going to keep our legs up like this. So we're going to come up and then hold like that and come down, okay? So I want to hold it for 3 seconds, and I want to do 9 in total, because today is all about progressive overload. So last time we did all this was a couple of weeks ago, we did 8 on each set. Now we want to do 9. Now for those of you who don't have a dip station, I know it's going to be quite awkward to do this. Without a dip station, there are options. First of all, come down, so you're in this L position here, hands by the sides. We're going to try and come up and down, up and down, all right? Other one we could do if we wanted to is to bring the feet up, 1 and down, 2, 3, 4, and 5, obviously with a 3-second hold each way. Or what you could do is just go back to the previous crunches that we were doing on the floor. But for now, if you've got a dip station, you're going to try and follow along with me. This is going to be tough, very tough. We want to hold it for 3 seconds. I'm going to count. We're going to come down. We're going to do 9 reps of this bad boy. Let's get this done. All right, you ready? Let's go. Up and hold. 1, 2, 3. Lower it down. Up and hold. 1, 2, 3. And down. That is 2 of the 9. Up and hold. 1, 2, 3. And down. That's 3. Up for 4. 1, 2, 3. And down. Coming for 5. 1, 2, 3, and down. 6 now. Up. 1, 2, 3. Down. 7. 1, 2, 3. Down. 8. Come on, you got this. 1, 2, 3, and down. Whew. Last one, number 9. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and down. Whew. Wow. Certainly going to need a break after that one. Oh. Just shake that off. Grab a drink. Okay, so the last set, so we'll have 3, or last rounds, right? So we do three rounds in total. We're going to do everything again. Excuse me, I'm so out of breath. So we have 9 knee raises. We have 18 side knee raises, so 9 on each side, right? And then we have our holds, counting to 3 and bringing it down, 9 of those. Whoa! And then we are done and we'll do a warm down. and I'll probably just collapse in a heap somewhere. Okay, so I'm gonna have to give it a couple more seconds because my heart rate is slightly too high for this, so we'll just have a little bit more of a breather. So still a bit high. I'm just gonna give myself a bit of a rest whilst we wait. I will put those on. That's the problem when you've got a heart condition. Your mind wants to do the exercise, but your heart's like, no, we'll just give it a bit more time. It's coming all right. It's getting down. It's good. All right, so that's good. Okay, set 3. Here we go. All right, so we're going to do 9 knee raises. Okay. Coming up. Belt to chin, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Off balance. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Awesome work. Right, give ourselves a bit of a break. 30-second break, and then we'll get onto the side knee raises. But it's really important to remember the form on these things. So the point in which you're doing the most work is actually right at the end range of motion. Okay, so it's where you're curling, you're crunching the belt up to the chin. Okay, 20 seconds of rest, and then we'll get cracking. You all right, Goose? You coming? You all right? You okay? You looked a bit worried then. Good boy. All right, here we go. So 9 side knee raises now. Here we go, or 18 in total. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Woo! Let's put those to the side. Definitely going to need a rest on that one before we get on to the L-sits. Okay, a couple more seconds to go. So again, if you don't have the L-sit, if you don't have the dip station, I'll just do a quick rundown of what you could do without this. All right, so you come here on the ground. All right, hands to the side like this, bring the feet up, and we hold it there and bring it down. 1, 2, 3, and down. 1, 2, 3, and down. 1, 2, 3, and down. Okay? So if you don't have a dip station, that is a variant that you could do, which will work a similar set of muscles, not to the same intensity as the dip station, because obviously the dip station you are fighting so much against gravity. And also the really important cool thing about the dip station, so I think this is cool, but a lot of people don't, is that it moves, right? So which means that you have to be constantly making micro adjustments to stop it from shaking. You'll probably see on the previous exercise that I did, this came out like that, and I had to sort it out whilst I was in mid knee raise, and that was working a lot on this side to do that, to counter that. Okay, so what I'm saying is this becomes a little unpredictable. Okay, especially when your muscles are fatigued, which means that you're going to have to work harder. Okay, so I can't put this out anymore. Let's do some L sits. All right, you ready for this? We're going to hold it for 3. I'm going to count to 3. I'm not going to say it's 3 seconds. I'm going to count to 3. So I might count really fast. I'm going to count to 3. No, that's cheating. Count to 3, and then I'm going to lower it down, coming back up. Count to 3, lower it down. We're going to do 9 reps of this. All right. It's not going to look pretty. Last few ones are not going to look pretty, but at least we're going to get this done. All right, here we go. Oop, adjust my hands. Here we go. All right, coming up for 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3, and down. 2, 1, 2, 3, and down. 4, 1, 2, 3, and down. 5, 1, 2, 3, and down. 6, 1, 2, 3, and down. 7, 1, 2, 3, and down. 8, 1, 2, 3, down. Last one here. Come on. 9, 1, 2, 3, and down. Ay. Put those to one side. Well done, everyone. That was really tough. That was really, really tough. So if you managed to do that, awesome job. That's a great achievement, everyone. What we're going to do now is thankfully do a warm down. Okay, so believe it or not, we've actually worked the upper body a bit, especially if you've been using the dip station. We've also been using our thighs and our quads to lift our legs up, and also the pelvis and the hips, okay, as well as the cores and the obliques. So the first thing I'm going to do, we're going to kneel in this position like this, okay? So toes are curled under. We're going to do opposite hand to opposite ankle as we go through. This is going to stretch all this out, all right? So this hand comes over and touches the opposite heel, okay? All right, so we're going to do that starting now. So 1, hold the heel, look in the opposite direction, feel that deep stretch all the way down here. Come back up. Opposite hand now, opposite heel. All right, let's go. Looking in that direction. Good, come back. All right, sit down as hero. So that's where your bum is on the heels, like this. There we go. You can feel that. I need to come a bit back for this. Because from here, what we're going to do is slide our hands down the thighs onto the mat, across, get our elbows down, push, 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 getting yourself into child pose, making sure that you're still pushing your bum backwards. Okay, from here, we're going to come up through the hands, up, take the elbows off. We're going to come up into cobra, pushing down. Imagine you've got a string attached to your belly button. It's pulling itself down and forward. You've also got a string on the back of your head, pulling it back. Okay, so you're looking up towards the ceiling, feeling that deep stretch in your back. Okay. From here, we're going to come into cat-cow so that you come onto a tabletop like this. So you've got your hands underneath your shoulders, so they're stacked like this. What we're going to do, your back is nice and straight. We're going to come up, arch up like this, and then arch down like this. Poking the bum up, and down. That's 2. Up and down. That's 3. Up and down. That's 4. One more. Up. Remember to breathe through this. And down. There we go. Good. Okay, come back up to the mat. We're going to do some cross-back squats now, okay? So remember, as I mentioned in the previous stream, the supporting foot needs to be nice and flat, so your heel is on the ground. Try not to do it so you're on your tippy toes. All right, I'll do a demonstration. I'll do the wrong way, and then I'll show you how to try and do the good way. All right, so this is the wrong way, where you're coming down like this, right? But you're bent over. You're on your balls of your feet. Your heel is up and away. You're putting all of your weight forward on that knee. Okay, that's not good. What you want to do is change so you're actually on the heel of your foot. Okay, and you're grabbing the toes like this. Okay, we'll hold that for a bit. Okay, coming up to the other side now. Remember, try and keep that supporting foot flat as you can. Grab hold of the toes or the shin. Coming up to the other side now. And then changing the other side. Other side. You'll find that if you're on the heel here, you'll be able to eventually get nice and low. And then other side. And then coming back up. Okay. Whew. Right. We're going to come down onto hero again. I'm just going to come outside of this mat, I think, because I need some room for this one. Okay, so we're down in hero, like this. Okay, and as you can see, if you can try and get your feet on the outside of your bum like this, okay, what we're going to try and do is lower ourselves backwards. As I said at the start of this, we do not push past pain. We acknowledge that there's pain there, we say hello to it, and we do not push past it, okay? We hold it there for as long as we can, but we don't go into it. All right, so for a start, if you can't get yourself into this position, just do this from kneeling like this, all right? And then slowly lower yourself back to the point in which you're uncomfortable, okay? But then stay there for a bit, all right? If you can, see if you can lower yourself, grab hold of the ankles like this, all right? Bring yourself down really slowly now, okay? If you can, you drop your elbows down. And then from here, again, if this is too much, don't push it, all right? Bring your head back. Just gonna hold it here for a bit, okay? Just breathe. Just breathe, just breathe. And then if you can, if you want to, there's no pressure here, zero ego. What you can do is sort of melt down if you want, all the way down, so your head eventually comes down and your shoulders are all the way back, like this. Okay, then come back up. Nice and slowly now, okay? And then up. Now, if that is too much, then that took me many times of trial and error to get to that point. So when you see these people on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram and they suddenly just get into that position, just please know that they've been doing this for a very long time, okay? But a really good one for opening up the hips here, because maybe your hips are a bit tight when you're doing that, because that's what happened to me. My hips were incredibly tight before I could do that. If you can get yourself into half lotus like this, so you're bringing one foot across to the top of the knee like so, we're going to try and pancake forward. And as we go, okay, we're going to try and push. You'll feel it on the hip that the knee is raised. So for me, my foot is here in half lotus like this, so I'm going to feel it here. What we're going to do is push forward like this. Okay, again, don't push past pain. All right, acknowledge that there is pain. Acknowledge that that is the limitation that you are at the current minute. Hold it there, but don't go through it, because what you can do on the next time, you can see if you can do a deeper stretch. But just try and hold it here, okay? And then, of course, if you can, bring your elbows down. Goose is doing a downward dog in front of me here. Sorry. And then push forward. Okay, coming back up. All right, thank you ever so much for watching today. I really do appreciate that. I didn't realize what the time was, so I'm going to have to shoot off. But if you do want to stick around, do that exercise or that stretch on the other side. So you bring your foot on the other side of the lotus, and you'll do it like that. All right, I am going to have to just let this dog out because he wants to go. Good. And then we'll wrap it up. So thank you ever so much for watching today's fitness class. I do appreciate it. I will see you again on Monday for the next one, Monday at 8:10. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.